Things this night took a bit of a turn for me. I definitely had the shock of my life. Hello you guys, and welcome to the Life in Germany channel. My name is Jenna. I'm a Canadian who's been living here since 2014, and over here on this channel I share a lot of my experiences, both the good and the bad, but I also interview experts and ask them certain questions that pertain to both expats and immigrants living here in Germany. Now today I wanted to open up about a question that is commonly asked. I get this question like 3 or 4 times a day, you guys. Is it really safe to live in Germany though? Oddly enough, if you actually Google that question, the responses don't actually come out all that accurate, at least in my mind. There's actually a lot of current news that has Germany on the warning list for higher incidents of terrorism. While yes, there have been threats in recent years, I would say the likelihood of anything actually happening to you is rather quite low. But I did want to answer this question over here on YouTube because yes, Germany is a safe place to live. The answer is really going to depend on you. Of course, if you're moving from somewhere like Syria or Afghanistan or Peru or Guatemala, yes, Germany is going to be this extremely amazing safe haven. Where on the contrary, perhaps you come from Iceland, New Zealand, Ireland, Canada, things might actually feel a tad less safe than they did back home. Why? That's because while Germany is quite a safe country to live in, it is not exactly #1 on the list for the world's safest countries. According to the Global Peace Index, Germany currently sits at number 16, and although Germany might not be in the top 10, they are ranked 16 out of 163 countries. That's pretty safe. So before I go ahead and pull out stats to prove to you that Germany is a safe country, I think it is important to kind of open up about my experiences as a Canadian. Don't forget, I come from Canada, and things that have perhaps tested me or made me question my security and my safety here in Germany. Look at these experiences that I've had and figure out for yourself whether that is okay for you or if that scares you right out of your pants. But it really did take me a little while to get myself out of this suburbia bubble that I lived in, where really nothing happens and crime is vandalism. But where I lived when I was a kid, leaving your door unlocked was quite normal. That's something, for example, that's not all that normal here in Germany. So I'm gonna say this once, I'll probably say it again. A lot of what it takes to make sure that you're safe here in Germany is simply using your common sense. Quite often before I had children, I felt totally comfortable walking alone in the dark as a female after having had a few beers. I lived about 20 minutes away from the Altstadt, and one night it was about 1 o'clock in the morning and my husband and his friends were still out and still having a great time, and I decided I was tired and I was ready to go home and I would simply walk by myself. I've done it before. I wasn't worried. Unfortunately, things this night took a bit of a turn for me and I definitely had the shock of my life. I lived in a very family-friendly neighborhood called Unterberg in Düsseldorf, if you've been here or if you know of it. And about 300 meters from my house, it was dark, I was walking all by myself and I saw a man. I don't know if he was in his right mind, I don't know if he had a few screws loose or he was drunk or what. An older gentleman, long straggly hair, slashing bike tires. Freaked me out a little bit, but I didn't think much of it and I kept on my way. I was looking at my phone. He didn't like that. That was apparently a very bad idea on my side. I think having my phone maybe scared him a little bit. I don't know if he thought I was gonna call the police or what, but he stepped away from the bikes. He looked at me and he started walking towards me. So naturally, I turned away and started walking a bit faster home. I looked behind me and he started walking even faster. So I started running, realizing, okay, either this is a coincidence or this guy is following me. And I started running. His fast walk also turned into a run and I just bolted it home. In the midst of running, I pulled out my key. I got to my door. I unlocked my apartment door, which is like this milk glass door. My heart's racing just thinking about it. This is definitely the scariest time I've had in Germany. Thankfully, I managed to get into the door and close that door and lock it before he could get there. But it was like a matter of seconds and then I just see his hands press up on the milk glass door and banging, and I don't know what he was screaming. He wasn't happy. I didn't call the police. What am I supposed to do? I don't have his name, number. I don't know why he was following me. He had the knife in his hand the whole time. Probably nothing could have happened, but as one could imagine, somebody chasing a woman in the middle of the dark in a very nice neighborhood with a knife at 1 o'clock in the morning isn't my idea of feeling safe. Nonetheless, this was the biggest and only incident where I really felt threatened, erring on the side of caution, is the easiest way to make sure that you stay safe. Other things that have happened to me which didn't really threaten me, it was just not a nice experience. I've had my bike stolen. This is very common in Germany. My husband's been pickpocketed twice in Frankfurt, close to the party district, which is very common. And recently my camper got broken into. Unfortunately, it was parked on an industrial road. Some guys broke in, slept there by the looks of it, ripped the pictures of my son and I down off the wall, and used his children's books to roll and sniff narcotics in my camper. And it's just a nasty feeling knowing that somebody else has been in your camper doing things that you don't want to know what they're doing. But again, I don't feel threatened for my safety. These are just like petty crimes here in Germany. They happen often, but they're no reason to be scared. I think it is more important if you're coming from these countries that rank higher in the Global Peace Index, or lower, of course, to just make sure that you're taking the proper safety precautions here in Germany. Avoid being alone at night. Know the neighborhoods, know where it's safe to walk. Make sure you're walking in well-lit areas. Avoid larger parks. This is often a common spot for drugs and prostitution. Although prostitution is legal in Germany, it's not always done legally and it can often be associated with crime. You don't want to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm not saying that anything's going to happen to you. It's just apparently I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and these odd instances can happen where I don't know what would have happened, but I did not like being chased with a knife. Nowadays, when I do go to the bar or I'm going out at night and I do plan to walk alone, I often carry a Swiss Army knife with me, not because I'm planning on using a knife, but it just makes me feel better. I always make sure that my personal belongings are on me at all times. Here in Germany, especially in tourist areas, it is often very common for people to be sitting at a patio restaurant, for example, and just put their phone next to their plate at dinner. It's not a good idea. Put your stuff away, put it in your purse, and keep your purse on you. Do not put it hanging on a chair, especially at a patio where it's easy to just grab and run away. Like I said, petty theft is very popular here. I tend to wear my fanny pack. I wouldn't say having a money belt like under your clothes is necessary here in Germany, although it is good to have something that's nicely secured on your body, especially if you're in major tourist areas and you're planning on exploring for the whole day. In regards to my belongings, I always make sure that I double lock my bike now, or a good tip would be just go to the flea market and buy a bike that you don't mind if it gets stolen. If you do mind, then double lock it, or make sure you buy an appropriate lock for it that is really, really hard to break off. I would also make sure that you're parking it in high traffic areas where other people can see what is going on, and I wouldn't leave it overnight. I would also say do as the Germans do and make sure that you are well insured. I have insurance for my e-bike. I also have liability insurance, which makes sure that if I break other people's belongings, that's covered. But more in regards to your safety, I would also highly advise you to get home contents insurance. These are the most common insurances that people in Germany have. Over 80% of people in Germany have these insurances. Home contents is also going to insure your belongings in your apartment or in your household in the event of a storm or a fire, but also in the event of a burglary. Burglaries are not uncommon in Germany. You do not need to be scared, but I would advise if you live in a city and you live on the ground floor, definitely make sure that you have the appropriate window blinds at night so that your windows can't be easily broken into, and also make sure you have a double lock on your door. This is very common here in Germany. Also, if you want to go above and beyond, especially if you do live on the ground floor, I would make sure to look more into securing your property, securing your belongings. I since moved from my rental apartment to my own home, and while I actually live in a very nice family-friendly neighborhood now, there is still petty theft and crime going on here. Actually, the other day I saw a post. People around our neighborhood are like going on a rampage trying to find these two women who are going around stealing kids' bikes because people don't lock their bikes as often here, and now people are like uploading pictures of these women from their security cameras. And then I was like, that's not a bad idea. So now I'm one of them. I have installed a couple of security cameras already. If you rent an apartment, you might not be able to install one outside of your apartment, but it doesn't hurt to install one inside at the front door so that at least you have that footage in case anything does happen. And the inspiration for this video actually came from our sponsor today, which is Owltron. And I will tell you guys a little bit about the camera that I have just in case you are interested. It is super affordable in comparison to others on the market. This is the Owltron SmartCam 01. This one is for outdoor use, but they also also have ones for indoor use as well. It costs about 75 euros, which is on the lower end for home security systems. It can be purchased on Amazon. I will leave the link below. But of course, although it is quite affordable, it does still offer all of the high quality functionalities of a more expensive home security system. It has 4MP HDR color night vision, so you can also see very well in the dark. They also have a two-way audio communication, so you can talk to the person you're watching on the other end. It tilts at a 96-degree angle and remotely spins 355 degrees. The one that I have here is entirely weatherproof, has automatic motion tracking, also provides instant notifications. This is all run via their app. It can detect vehicles if you want it to. It's compatible with my Alexa or Google Assistant if you have Google Assistant. And you can actually upload all of that footage to your cloud or your local storage. So let's see if I can catch these ladies with my new Owltron. I'll keep you posted. Anyway, I will link this one down below for you guys. This is one of their newest models, so they are actually offering 25% off right now with the code OwltronCam01. I will also leave that code down below along with the Amazon link for you to go check it out if you'd like. But now that I've shared my experiences with you, why don't we sum this all up with a few pointers? So really, is Germany a safe place to live? Yes, it is. There is petty theft and vandalism and prostitution, pickpocketing, very, very harmless events taking place. If you're looking for the safest city to live in Germany, then look no further than Munich. Munich is actually safer than many small towns here in Germany, surprisingly. But if my story sent shivers down your spine and you're a little concerned, just to give you a better understanding, the most dangerous cities in Germany: Frankfurt, Bremen, Berlin, Hamburg, and Cologne. Homicides, I'm not even gonna go into detail about homicides here in Germany. Germany is actually safer than Canada in regards to homicides because Germany sits at like 0.93 of a person out of 100,000 are murdered, and almost all of those have to do with hate crimes or drug-related crimes. So normal locals are not affected by this. But to give you a vast comparison, Jamaica has a murder rate of about 44.95 out of 100,000 people. That is a huge difference. At the end of the day, it is obvious that cities here in Germany are a little less safer than smaller German towns, but it's not uncommon to actually see like 10-year-old kids, even in a bigger city like Düsseldorf, going to school on the bus on their own, or a 5-year-old kid taking his scooter to the bakery on a Sunday morning to get Frühstücksbrötchen for his family. Although most of us lock our doors in the cities here in Germany, we do not need to live in gated communities here. We are open, we are free. All in all, I feel extremely safe here in Germany. Even as a Canadian, I am very happy to be raising my family here in Germany. I would love to know what you guys think, how you feel. I expect most of you also feel extremely safe here in Germany, but for those of you who are constantly asking me, I now have a video that I can send you over sharing my experiences with you. Vielen, vielen lieben Dank, you guys. Und wie immer, bis später.